Let's get in the swing of things, and everyone, if you like the show, give us a thumbs up. Don't get frustrated and break that club, because we're going to show you some winners. This one is twice as nice, so turn 2. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And Guinness World Book of Records has our show in from last week. We're in the running, so we'll find out. Fastest half hour on television.
I heard we came up just a little bit short. We had a lot of stuff last week, not nearly as busy a show this evening, but some good stuff. We'll get you caught up. One very, very exciting nugget that's going to come mid-show, so don't leave your seats because you don't want to miss it. We start with the baseball team. They had lost to Champlin Park last Tuesday when we did the show. We did not have any real details. They lost that one 3-2 to the Rebels. Jake Hansen was 2 for 3, scored both the Cardinals' runs. Avery Lehman was 2 for 4, had a double. Olson had an RBI. Jake Hansen was also the losing pitcher going all 7 innings. Well, the Cardinals needed a bounce-back game on Friday, but that's a tall task when you're traveling to take on the defending champions. Totino Grace only lost 2 conference games last season, and they were undefeated through their first 4 games. The Eagles were doing it mostly with defense, neither team putting up big offensive numbers, so this was going to most likely be a low-scoring affair. A 1-1 game in the bottom of the 4th when Will Raj unties it with one swing of the bat. Morissette is back to the wall, just watches it fly over the fence. Solo shot gives Totino the 2-1 lead. Eagles able to add to it with a 2-out rally in the 5th. Jacob Sink with a single to left. Morissette comes up throwing, but good wheels by Jacob Zerbe. He scores from second. Totino up 3-1. Next batter is Raj, and he does damage again. This time it's a double down the line and left. Nolan Nielsen will score from second to make it a 3-run lead. They weren't quite done in the 5th. Wild pitch by Wellner goes all the way to the backstop. Pink will hustle to the plate, and all of a sudden, it's 5-1 Eagles. They had one more in the 6th. Jason Schuler scoring on a chopper by Nick Holton. Totino stays undefeated with a 6-1 win over the Cardinals.
Yeah, Eagles is a really good ball club, and the Cardinals, they seem to be hanging right in there, about a 500 record. And as the season continues, they'll continue to get better. But I think, as Coach Bright said, we're right there.
Well, yeah, and their hitting is definitely coming along, and that was the big concern through the first couple of games. Cardinals did bounce back with a victory over the weekend against Hill Murray, beating the Pioneers 3-1. Dio Lawal 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Tyler Brick 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Lehman and George also getting the bat on the ball. Harold got the win, went all 7 innings, gave up just 3 hits, 1 run with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Busy week for the Cardinals this week. They're at Blaine on Tuesday. They host Park Center on Thursday, and then Andover on Saturday. And Howie will be there
tomorrow
to see
Tuesday.
them in Blaine, weather permitting, of course.
We should be able to get that one in. It's going to be sporadic all week, and I think we're going to get every other day a little rain. So I think we'll get that in.
All right, softball team also had lost by the time we did the show last week. We mentioned the score 8-1. Not a lot of details for the softball game other than Caleb Thone through the first 6 innings. Jade Gomez did 1 additional inning in relief. But notice of the 8 runs, only 5 of them were earned.
Well, Thursday's game against Totino Grace was postponed, so the Cardinals back on the field Friday hosting Bemidji. Both teams coming into the game looking for their first win, but they had different stories. While the Cardinals weren't putting runs on the board, just 2 runs in their first 3 games, the Lumberjacks had scored 10 times, but were still 0-3. One thing was for certain, one team was going to end their streak. Lumberjacks looking good early. Pitcher Grace Negg helping her own cause in the top of the first. A shot to the gap in right center. Samantha Edlin will score all the way from first, and Negg is in standing up with an RBI triple. Cardinals defense keeps it from a big inning. Ellie Hansen up next, grounds it to short. Care is coming home. The throw, the tag as Karate is out at the plate. 2 on, 2 out in the first. Maddie Schultz with a seeing eye single to left. Lumberjacks try to score. Hansen from second. Bad idea. Buell guns her down at the plate. It's 1-0 Bemidji. Now Fortune smile on the home team in the bottom of the first. Bases loaded, 2 out. Jade Gomez skies it to short right. Should end the inning, but it's out of the fielder's glove. Throwing error means all 3-run score. Similar play left on the next play gave the Cardinals a 4-1 lead. They'll take it any way they can get it. Defense is able to hold from there. Care to Hansen to Gomez on the 6-4-3 double play. They turned that one twice in the second and again to end the game. Offense only had 3 hits and 1 earned in the game. Brittany Buell drives one down, drives the final run of the game. That scorching grounder down the third baseline in the 6th to score Abby Graham. It was enough as the Cardinals go on to win by a 6-3 score.
Yeah,
it was a good win for them.
Yeah, it was a big win, and it was a gift. A lot of errors in the field for the Lumberjacks. They only got 3 hits in the game, but able to get the win, and that's big because they come into this week where they've got most of the beginning of the week off. They've got games Thursday, Friday. They host Park Center on Thursday, and then under the lights at Al Flynn Field on Friday against Henry Sibley and Howie.
We'll be there.
Tennis team was busy this past week. They took on Centennial on Wednesday of last week and lost 5-2 to the Cougars. The wins coming from Fish at third singles and Crotty and Musolf at third doubles. Drew Grimmer at second singles and Boyum and Dammel at second doubles. Held in there but came up short. Cardinals bounced back with a win over Osseo on Thursday. This one suspended. Last 2 matches were still going in split sets. Those are the last 2 doubles matches were still going. Cardinals had already gotten the 4-1 win. So it was stopped. Cardinals on Saturday traveled to Grand Rapids, take on 3 new section teammates or section opponents that they will face come section time. Duluth East beat the Cardinals 7-0. Cardinals beat Princeton 5-2, and they lose to host Grand Rapids 4-3. Among the notables, Drew Grimmer played second singles the entire weekend or tournament and would finish 2-1. Bai was 1-0 at second singles, 1-1 at third singles. Stephen Yang was 1-1 as the third singles player and won in his 1 doubles match. Now they have at Elk River Tuesday. The Elks always one of the top teams in this conference, so they'll be a tough one. Then they host Andover on Thursday, and then in Spring Lake Park for an invitational on Saturday. Track and field teams had just one event last week, the Centennial Tri-Meet. Boys finished up with just 35 points to Osceo's 65 and Centennial's 86. Some of the highlights: a first place finish for the 4x800 relay team. The distance run continues to be a strong point for the team. Muggenberg wins the 1 mile, Breitbach wins the 2 mile. Mandyke was first place in the shot put. Tabla was first place in the triple and second in the long jump. For the girls, they finished in second place with 70.5 points. Centennial wins with 82. A lot of first place finishes for the Cardinals. 4x800 relay team took first. Callie Harris in both hurdle events. Devin Vasseff in the shot put with 31-foot, 9-inch put. And I'm not sure which is which, but one of those is Brianna Clark and one of them is Brielle. They both finished with 1 first place and 1 second place, I believe.
Nice
but Brianna and Brielle were both on that score sheet quite a bit. This week, they have Andover and Champlin on Tuesday. Then there will be a tournament on Thursday for those who are not invited to Friday's big Hamlin Elite Meet. Cardinals should have a couple on that invite list.
I would imagine so.
Now, here is the exciting news of the show.
Been waiting for it.
Been waiting for it. On the edge of your seat. It comes from the boys golf team. Travis Hess shoots a school record 68 to be the medalist in the first Northwest Suburban Conference tournament of the season. A school record 68 for Travis Hess. Still, the Cardinals finished 9th. Put up the top 3 scores just to see how far back the Cardinals are in that 9th place. Behind Hess, you had Elson with 76, Howells and Getz each had 40 or 88s. 48s. Wouldn't that be nice? Northwest Suburban Conference is back at Rush Creek this afternoon. We didn't get those scores in time for the show. They are at Golden Valley Country Club next Monday. Girls golf team will be playing a very challenging Elk River course on Tuesday this week, and once again, looks like they'll be playing in cooler temperatures and dealing with a little bit of wind. The sun was shining bright for their trip to North Fork, but a bad omen before the round as the team witnessed a bald eagle taking down a hawk. It just wasn't a day for diminutive birds, and the Cardinals got swept up by the mighty Tornadoes. Got to give thanks to Chad Keeney for the clever intro. Captain Lexi Herman leading off, and like many of her younger teammates, struggling with some course management that is leading to higher scores. Herman chalks up a 66 at North Fork. Ellie Carver continues to lead the Cardinals with low scores. She goes tee to green on this hole, and you can hear her in the background. I needed that. Finishes up from there on her way to a 58 for the day. Junior Belle Wynn coming up next, tapping this one home. She finished with a 69 for the Cardinals on a bright, sunny Friday afternoon. Finally, sophomore Tori Westloaf figures into the team score, riding along with the captain on Route 66. Rachel Bissett finished with a 67, and Allie McDonald had a 70. Cardinals put up a 257, and they lose to Anoka's 207.
Well, nice job by Chad Keeney. The feather in his cap for that.
Well, you know, that I couldn't take credit. It was such a great intro. I had to use it, and got to give credit where credit is due. As I mentioned, the girls will play the Elk River Invitational on Tuesday this week. They have a Northwest Suburban Conference tournament at Majestic on Thursday. Boys lacrosse team, just the one game last Wednesday. They went to Elk River to face a very tough Elks team. They lose that one 14-2. The goals coming from Josiah Taylor and Brovik. They're at Maple Grove on Wednesday and at Duluth on Friday.
Well, after starting the season with a loss to Champlain Park, the girls lacrosse team offense has picked up, and it means the Cardinals are starting to fly. Last Wednesday, the Cardinals looking for their second straight win and facing the Elk River team as they really should beat. The Elks had just 3 wins last year, and they had already lost handling to both Blaine and Centennial, so Coon Rapids really needed to win to keep up the pace. Coon Rapids starting the offense in this one, despite some outstanding goaltending by Emmett Dalton. Kayla Ross able to scoop this rebound up and get the Cards started. 1-0 Coon Rapids. But Elk River Zimmerman really kept it interesting for the first 15 minutes. Cardinals had to come back from a 2-1 deficit. Helen Nelson's first of the game got them back in front, 3-2. But as we affectionately like to call him, ERZ kept bouncing back. Good long run for Michaela Knutson, getting behind the defense and beating the keeper to the far post. It was 4-3 with just under 10 minutes left in the half. Cardinals had 2 goals disallowed, and Dalton made several big stops, so the lead could have been much larger. Coon Rapids was up 6-3 at the half. They really pour it on in the second. They start with 4 unanswered goals. Hackett dropping this one on the backhand, 9-3 Cardinals at that point. Helen Nelson and Kayla Ross were the big producers. 5 goals, 2 assists for Nelson, 4 goals, 2 assists for Ross. They run away with a 13-6 win. A lot of offense for Coon Rapids, and it's just the beginning of that.
Oh, yeah, they really ramped it up after that. They take on non-conference opponent Becker on Thursday and beat them 19-7. Again, Nelson with 7 points, Ross right behind with 6. Lily Hackett had 6 points as well, 1 goal, 5 helpers. Misquick with the hat trick. Bloomquist and Cedarburg each had a pair for the Cardinals. They had 18 more against Duluth on Saturday. 3-3 for Helen Nelson. 2 goals, 3 assists for Kayla Ross. Lily Hackett had 3 goals and an assist. I got something wrong because I've got Kayla Ross on there with 2 goals down below. I'll fix it and I'll figure it out later. Misquick had a goal and 2 assists, though, and Nelson had 2 goals also.
Nice to see a lot of scoring, a lot of well-balanced scoring for them.
They got a lot of scoring, no question. And the Cardinals will host Maple Grove on Wednesday. They're at Irondale next Monday. All the way to the last graphic of the show, and there it is, a glaring mistake by yours truly. But what are you going to do? It happens. We have a lot of stuff coming up for you. We've got baseball on Tuesday, tennis on Thursday against Andover, and then softball under the lights at Al Flynn Field. Nighttime game coverage live at 7 o'clock. That's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us. Continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.